Hey scholars, Miss Coil here. Happy Friday! We did it, we got to another week. Should we practice some of our High Five Friday moves? So let's think like switch, maybe the disco finger. I can't wait to see what High Five Friday. Last week was so much fun. It's always so much fun to see you all and see you all show so much courage and bravery, busting a move during High Five Friday and not caring what anybody thinks. It's just for fun, right? Today we are going to continue our unit on poetry, and we are going to continue to learn about onomatopoeia. So, we already learned so many things about what onomatopoeias do for a scholar. When we read that word, what is that word describing? Yeah, it's a word that makes the sound it is describing. So we already talked about a few. We said woof. When I read the word woof, oh, that makes the sound it's describing. So it makes a dog barking sound. That makes me paint a picture of a dog barking in my head. We talked about splash, ring, sniff, squish. We learned all those onomatopoeias in just our first day of our poetry unit. And today is not any less exciting because we get to go into a book that is full of onomatopoeia. So remember, authors use onomatopoeia to add to their message, to help us better understand their poem and help us better visualize it in our brains. So your job as a smart cookie and as a smart reader is when you see those onomatopoeia words is to think, what is that sound that it's describing? So you can better paint a picture of what's happening in the story. These words help us visualize the story better, and when you visualize the story better, you understand it better. So it's gonna help us continue to grow our brains. So the story that we're going to be reading today is titled Click, Clack, Moo, Cows That Type. We're gonna read this story together, and our job is to find those onomatopoeias. As we read, we will say those words together that are onomatopoeia, and at the end, we'll make sure we add them to our chart so that every time we read a poem, we can continue to track all the different onomatopoeias that we're learning. So go ahead and track the book, and let's read the title together. Finger on click. Ooh, click. Click already is an onomatopoeia. Oh my goodness. When I read the word click, I can hear click like clicking on a keyboard. I can hear that sound. Let's keep reading. Click, clack, moo, cows that type. Farmer Brown has a problem. His cows like to type. All day long he hears click, clack, moo. Click, clack, moo. Click, clickety, clickety, clack, moo. I just heard some words that make sounds. Click and clack sounds like keys, typing. And moo, what animal makes a moo sound? Yeah, you are so smart. A cow, of course. So those must be examples of onomatopoeias. Let's keep reading. At first, he couldn't believe his ears. Cows that type, impossible. Click, clack, moo. Click, clack, moo. Clickety, clack, moo. What is an example of an onomatopoeia that we just heard? What is an example of an onomatopoeia that we just heard? Super smart cookie scholars. Yes, click is an example. What's another example? Clack. We said click and clack sound like keys typing. What other word is an onomatopoeia? Yes, moo. Yeah, we said a cow makes that sound. So that reminds me that moo is an onomatopoeia as well. Nice work. Let's keep reading. Then he couldn't believe his eyes. Dear Farmer Brown, the barn is very cold at night. We'd like some electric blankets. Sincerely, the cows. Scholars, what is the setting in this story? What in the story made you think that? Yeah, we are totally at a farm. I know because I can see in the pictures that there's a big red barn in the background, and I also know that on page 1, it said that Farmer Brown has a problem. I know farmers live on farms, so that helps me understand the story more. Who wrote the note on the farm door? Who wrote that note? We said click, clack sounds like keys typing. Who wrote that? The cows. Nice work. It was bad enough the cows had found the only typewriter in the barn. electric blankets? No way, said Farmer Brown. No electric blankets. So the cows went on strike. They left a note on the barn door. Sorry, we're closed. No milk today. Guys, what do you think it means to go on strike? Said the cows went on strike. You're right, they left a note on the door. Why is that note important? Why is that important? You got it. The note says that they're closed. I know when they say they're closed, they say no milk today. So they're refusing to give any milk if they don't get those electric blankets. Let's keep reading. No milk today, cried Farmer Brown. In the background, he heard the cows busy at work. Click, clack. You got it. I love that we're making our voices change like that sounds. Let's read again. Click, clack, moo. Click, clack, moo. Clickety, clack, moo. So why are click, clack, moo examples of onomatopoeia? What do we know about onomatopoeia? Yeah, onomatopoeia are words that make sound. They're words that make? Good, they're words that make sound. You got it. So those are the words that make the sound they're describing, like click on a keyboard, like clack on a keyboard, like moo, like a cow makes the noise. So these cows are typing on a typewriter. This helps me understand that this is fiction, make-believe stories, because real cows, they do not know how to type on typewriters. No way. Let's keep reading. The next day, he got another note. Dear Farmer Brown, the hens are cold too. They'd like electric blankets. Sincerely, the cows. The cows were growing impatient with the farmer. They left a new note on the barn door. Closed. No milk, no eggs. Guys, what is added to the problem now? I thought it was just no milk. What else is happening now? Now they're not going to give, the hens are not going to give any eggs now. Oh, no eggs, cried Farmer Brown. In the background, he heard them. Click, clack, moo. Click, clack, moo. Clickety, clack, moo. Cows that type, hens on strike. Who ever heard of such a thing? How can I run a farm with no milk and no eggs? Farmer Brown was furious. Do you know what furious means? What does furious mean? Yeah, it's like you're so angry. Good job. Farmer Brown got out his own typewriter. Dear cows and hens, there will be no electric blankets. You are cows and hens. I demand milk and eggs. Sincerely, Farmer Brown. So how could the author have used an onomatopoeia here to describe and show that Farmer Brown is typing? What onomatopoeia could he use here? I know of an onomatopoeia that we might have already learned from this book. Which onomatopoeia, which word makes sound, like sound on a keyboard? Yeah, click and clack. He definitely could have used that in here. Let's keep reading. Duck was a neutral party, so he brought the ultimatum to the cows. The cows held an emergency meeting. All the animals gathered around the barn to snoop, but none of them could understand moo. All night long, Farmer Brown waited for an answer. Duck knocked on the door early the next morning. He handed Farmer Brown a note. Dear Farmer Brown, we will exchange our typewriter for electric blankets. Leave them outside the barn door, and we will send Duck over with the typewriter. Sincerely, the cows. Farmer Brown decided this was a good deal. He left the blankets next to the barn door and waited for Duck to come with the typewriter. The next morning, he got a note. Dear Farmer Brown, the pond is quite boring. We'd like a diving board. Sincerely, the ducks. Click, clack, quack. Click, clack, quack. Clickety, clack, quack. Scholars, we just heard a new onomatopoeia. I want you to think and try to find it on the page. Where is there a new onomatopoeia that we don't know yet? Remember, onomatopoeia are words that make sound. Yeah, do you see it in those bold letters? Quack. What sound is that? Yeah, it's the sound that the ducks are making. So I still see click, clack. They're still typing away. Click, clack is the sound, the onomatopoeia, that makes the sound of them typing on the typewriter. But now I hear quack. That's an onomatopoeia for the noise the ducks are making. And this is the very end of our story. Oh my goodness. That was pretty silly. There are a few onomatopoeia that I want to make sure I add up to our chart paper from our story today. What were some new onomatopoeias that we learned today? Yeah, click, clack. Let's add that to the chart. So I went ahead and added click and clack. I know that those noises help me better understand the story and understand the picture in my brain of the animals typing on the typewriter. Click, clack, click, clack. What other onomatopoeia did we learn today? Yeah, moo. The noise that cows make. Let's add more moo. And finally, there was one more onomatopoeia. Can you remember it? Think about the ducks. Yeah, quack. That totally helped me understand the story better and paint that picture of the ducks typing away at the typewriter and quacking, talking to each other. Quack. Let's add it to our chart. So scholars, today in our poetry unit, we read a fiction story, Click, Clack, Moo, Cows That Type. We read this fiction story and we did the job of finding the onomatopoeia that the author included to help us better visualize the story. Remember, onomatopoeia are words that make sound. Words that make? Yeah, we're keeping track of all of the sound words that we've been coming across. All of these different onomatopoeias, we're going to keep track of them on our resource. Today we found 4 more. Click, clack, moo, quack. And these better help us paint the pictures of the story, which then helps us better understand the story. It was really fun reading this story with you today, and I cannot wait for another day of Read Aloud on Monday. I hope you have an amazing weekend. Remember to use those onomatopoeia words and send over a picture of your writing from Read Aloud this week to your teachers, and they will share them with me, and then I can give another super special shout out on Monday. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy it. Have fun with your families and stay safe and healthy, and I will see you on Monday. Bye, Vista Voyagers.